Imagine waking up to the sound of bulldozers chewing through the garden your late wife spent 20 years perfecting, while the woman who signed the death warrant on your tomatoes is smiling for the news cameras 50 yards from your kitchen window. That's exactly what happened to me. And today, I'm about to turn her $40 million community triumph into the most expensive faceplant Colorado has ever seen. My name is Garrett Mills. I'm 52. Retired electrician, widower, and apparently the perfect mark for a woman who treats property lines like suggestions. My family's 40 acres of rolling prairie have been ours since my grandfather bought them in 1987. Back when land was cheap and neighbors were actual neighbors, not a committee of self-appointed sheriffs. Sarah and I built our life here. Chickens, tomatoes that tasted like summer, sunsets that could make you forget the world existed. We named our rooster Earl after her dad, loud, stubborn, and impossible to shut up. Fitting. 3 years ago, cancer took Sarah. She handled all the paperwork because my hands shake when I'm stressed and legal documents might as well be written in hieroglyphs. I kept her routines after she was gone. Feed the chickens at dawn. Sit on the porch swing that still smells faintly of her lavender lotion. Brew coffee for two because habits die slower than hope. Then Heritage Oaks subdivision sprouted around us like an invasive species of McMansions, 3-car garages, chemically green lawns, and an HOA that somehow grandfathered my land into their kingdom even though I'm outside their borders. Enter Veronica Blackwood, HOA president, real estate attorney, married to a city councilman who could probably get parking tickets dismissed for his goldfish. She drives a white Tesla she parks diagonally to claim 2 spaces, irons her yoga pants, and smiles like she's doing you a favor by existing. Last spring she showed up at my door in pearls and a clipboard, smelling like money and entitlement. "Mr. Mills," she said, voice dripping honey, "we just need your signature on a routine easement update. Nothing that'll disturb your little farm." The papers looked official county letterhead. Enough jargon to choke a horse. I was grieving, tired, and stupid. I signed. 48 hours later, surveyors swarmed my land like locusts. Orange stakes through Sarah's tomato beds, around the chicken coop, even next to Earl's dust bath. The crew chief, a decent guy named Danny, winced when I asked what the hell was happening. "Lady with the Tesla says this is all HOA property now." I drove to the county clerk's office and spent 3 hours under fluorescent lights that buzzed like dying bees. Turns out that routine easement transferred development rights to 35 of my 40 acres. Her husband had fast-tracked zoning changes. The HOA could seize and use land for community benefit. I'd been played like a cheap fiddle. Construction rolled in like an army. Diesel monsters belching smoke over Sarah's wildflower meadow. I woke one morning to a backhoe reversing over the exact spot where Sarah and I had our first kiss 30 years ago. Veronica arrived in a Range Rover. Apparently the Tesla wasn't tough enough for actual dirt. Strutting across my property in designer jeans that cost more than my monthly groceries. "Mr. Mills," she called, "you'll need to relocate your agricultural activities to the designated 5-acre homestead zone." She pointed to a postage stamp patch that barely fit my house and yard. "This development will bring value to the entire community. Your property values will skyrocket." Property values. Because that's what matters when someone's bulldozing your wife's memorial garden. That night, I spread survey maps across the kitchen table next to Sarah's reading glasses and measured every line with a ruler. And that's when I found it. Their survey was spectacularly wrong. They'd claimed a 1/4 acre of my neighbor Ezra Kowalski's land, including his fishing pond. Ezra's a retired Marine, built like a fridge, calm as a glacier. If Veronica thought she could intimidate a guy who survived 3 tours in Afghanistan, she was about to learn the hard way. Next morning, Ezra and I staked the true boundaries with pink tape and set up folding chairs right on the corrected line with a cooler of coffee. The crew arrived to find 2 men sipping coffee in their path. Veronica screeched up in her Range Rover, yoga pants and Ugg boots, shrieking about interfering with a legal survey. Ezra deadpanned, "Ma'am, last I checked, sitting on your own property wasn't illegal in America." She called the sheriff. Deputy Martinez confirmed my deed was correct. The crew packed up. Veronica left spinning gravel and fury. Then the certified letters started. 1 every 3 days, each more absurd. Grass too tall in the back corner nobody sees. $200 fine. Unsightly agricultural structure, my chicken coop $300. Unlicensed commercial activity, Sarah's old roadside tomato stand $500. Total $3,400 in fines with threats of liens. The HOA attorney handling my case? Veronica's law school roommate. Shocking. While she played mail warfare, I dug through city records. The HOA had claimed special district status, mini-government powers, but never notified me or 3 other pre-subdivision owners. Their formation meeting was Tuesday at 2 p.m., perfect for excluding anyone with a job. I found a lawyer, Meredith Cruz, 26, fresh out of law school, drowning in debt, hungry for justice. "This is better than any case study," she said, spreading documents like battle plans. We challenged the special district status. Veronica hired rent-a-cops in white SUVs with light bars bright enough to land planes. They photographed my mailbox angle, garden hose placement, even Earl's dust bath. Every photo became another violation. The neighborhood split. Working families waved support. New money types backed Veronica like loyal soldiers. Meredith found the killer statute. HOAs can't enforce rules outside their legal boundaries. Even with the easement, my homestead was exempt. I stopped paying fines. Returned every letter stamped refused. Veronica went nuclear. Emergency board meeting, posted where I'd never see it, to discuss the problem resident. Then a notice of eminent domain, seizing my remaining 35 acres for community infrastructure. Compensation, $50,000 for land worth at least $400,000. Ezra read it and whistled. She just went from stupid to felony stupid. She doubled down. City inspection of my wiring, inspector said it was textbook perfect. Agricultural complaint about my tomatoes, dismissed as harassment. Arborist report claiming my century-old oak was dangerous. My expert said it was fraud. Then she tried to buy me off. Coffee shop meeting. "I'm prepared to offer $200,000 for your homestead," she said, leaning in like she was doing me a favor. I recorded it, Colorado's one-party consent. Asked for 48 hours to think. Meanwhile, construction delays bled money. Retail tenants threatened to bail. Environmental issues from redirected springs caused flooding. Criminal investigation into HOA fund misappropriation opened. Someone tipped off the AG. Black Friday grand opening. Veronica on stage with golden scissors. Speech about transforming and used farmland. Crowd applauds. Corporate execs. Mayor. Media. I step forward. "Excuse me, but these buildings are on my private property without permission." I hold up the survey map. Crowd murmurs. Then I open the lockbox. And I own the mineral rights beneath this entire development. I hold up the 1887 homestead deed. Under Colorado law, Mineral rights supersede surface construction. Silence. Snowflakes audible. Deputy Martinez confirms authenticity. Reporter Marcus Webb steps up. Miss Blackwood. Comment on the criminal investigation into HOA fraud announced this morning. Veronica melts down. This is fraud. He's lying. Screaming at security to remove me from private HOA property. Irony so thick you could cut it. Court papers served. Construction halted. Settlement. I sold mineral rights for $3.2 million. Retail tenants resumed under new structure giving HOA 40% profit share, enough to avoid bankruptcy. Veronica resigned in disgrace, facing fraud charges. She and her husband moved to Arizona. Reputation stuck like tar. I started the Sarah Mills Property Rights Foundation with the money, free legal help for HOA victims. Meredith runs it. We turned 2 acres into a community garden teaching kids real food comes from dirt, not plastic bags. Colorado passed the Garrett Mills Act strengthening mineral rights protections and HOA disclosure rules. Now I sit on the porch swing, watching kids plant seeds where Veronica plans stores. Earl crows like he's announcing victory. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge. It's watching bullies bury themselves under their own rules. So tell me, who was really in the wrong here? The grieving widower defending his land, or the HOA president who thought community benefit meant whatever I want? Drop your thoughts below. Like if you've dealt with HOA madness. Subscribe so you don't miss the next meltdown. And remember, property rights protect everyone, but only if we fight for them.